Joseph, the governor of Egypt, is one of the most well-known characters in the Bible, but his wife, Asenath, remains a mystery to many. While he played a central role in the history of the people of Israel, she is mentioned only a few times. Still, this enigmatic figure has sparked the curiosity of generations. Various traditions and interpretations have emerged over time to fill in the gaps left by the biblical text. Some of these versions come from Jewish legends, apocryphal texts, and even midrashic interpretations. Some even say Asenath was Joseph's niece. But does that really make sense? Who is this woman who played such an important role in Joseph's life and in the course of Israel's history? That's what we're going to explore now. The Bible tells us that Joseph was taken to Egypt as a slave when he was still young, after being sold by his own brothers. In the house of Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh, he quickly stood out for his administrative skills and integrity. Even after being falsely accused and imprisoned, Joseph continued to show wisdom, accurately interpreting dreams, which would eventually change his life. When Pharaoh had troubling dreams that no one could interpret, Joseph was called upon. He revealed that Egypt would experience 7 years of abundance, followed by 7 years of famine. His interpretation not only brought him out of prison, but also earned him a place of honor beside Pharaoh. Impressed, the Egyptian king gave Joseph a new name, Zaphenath-Paneah, and gave him a wife, Asenath. Asenath is mentioned in Genesis 41 as the daughter of Potiphar, priest of On, a city known to the Greeks as Heliopolis. This city was a major center for sun worship in Egypt. The name Potiphar means gift of Ra, indicating that Asenath was raised in a polytheistic Egyptian environment. She was likely part of one of the highest social classes. The name Asenath is thought to be of Egyptian origin, possibly meaning belonging to the goddess Neith, a deity associated with war and hunting. Interestingly, the Bible doesn't describe any relationship between Joseph and Asenath before the marriage. The text simply says Pharaoh gave her to Joseph as his wife, possibly as a way to unite religious authority with the new governor's political power. Joseph was around 30 years old when he got married, and there is no mention of any other wife, suggesting that Asenath was his only one. During the years of abundance, she bore him 2 sons. The first was named Manasseh, which means he who makes one forget, because Joseph said God had made him forget all his hardship. The second was Ephraim, meaning fruitful, because Joseph recognized that God had made him prosper even in the land of his suffering. These 2 sons would later be adopted by Jacob, Joseph's father, who gave them a special blessing, making them patriarchs of 2 tribes of Israel. Curiously, Jacob gave the principal blessing to Ephraim, the younger son, going against the traditional order. This decision was seen as divinely guided. Ephraim eventually became the largest and most influential tribe in the northern kingdom, producing figures like Joshua and the prophet Samuel. Despite her significance, little else is said about Asenath in the Bible. We don't know how she lived in Pharaoh's court, how she related to Jacob or to Joseph's brothers when they moved to Egypt. This silence is common when it comes to many women in the Bible, especially those who didn't have prophetic roles or leadership positions. Furthermore, the fact that Asenath was Egyptian raises questions. How could a foreign woman, the daughter of a pagan priest, be the mother of 2 leaders of Israelite tribes? To answer that, various traditions and explanations arose. The Midrash, a type of Jewish literature that expands biblical stories with theological purposes, offers 2 main versions. In one of them, Asenath was the daughter of Dinah, Jacob's only daughter. After a traumatic episode with Shechem, Dinah became pregnant, and her child was sent to Egypt, where she was adopted by Potiphar. That would make Asenath a biological Israelite, and her marriage to Joseph wouldn't violate any traditions. According to this legend, before sending the baby away, Jacob placed an amulet around her neck with a dedication to the God of Israel. Years later, Joseph recognized the amulet and thus discovered her true origin. In another interpretation, Asenath was indeed Egyptian, raised in polytheism, but upon meeting Joseph, she converted to God of Israel. This view reinforces the idea that foreign women could be integrated into the Israelite faith, just like Rahab and Ruth. Thus, Asenath would have abandoned her old gods and become worthy of seeing her sons included in the covenant. This curiosity around Asenath even inspired the creation of an apocryphal book called Joseph and Asenath, written in Greek and produced between the 2nd century BC and the 1st century AD, possibly in Alexandria. The work, written in a romantic style, describes the meeting of Joseph and Asenath in a much more elaborate way. At first, Joseph rejects Asenath because of her pagan faith, but she repents, fasts, and prays to the God of Israel, eventually converting. After that, they marry. In the second part of the story, a new conflict arises. Pharaoh's son falls in love with Asenath and plots against Joseph, adding a dramatic and intrigue-filled twist to the narrative. Although not part of the Bible, this work shows how the mystery surrounding Asenath has always intrigued people and continues to provoke reflection to this day. And if you enjoyed learning more about this little-known figure in the Bible, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you won't miss any of our upcoming stories. There's still so much more to discover together.